Hey everybody, it's Peace Daddy, Mr. Dollar here. I have an entire series of lessons planned out for you on mixtures and solutions. Today we're going to be looking at the first one, and this is our lesson about mixtures. I'm going to hold it up there for you for a little bit. If you want to pause it and read it on your own, you can. It says the materials that you need are a bottle of iron filings, which I have here, a container of sand, a glass bowl, a magnet, and a handheld magnet like this one works the best, a plastic spoon, and a piece of cloth. And also on this directions it says that you need a funnel, but we don't need a funnel today, okay? And this piece of cloth, if you'll notice, is a baby sock, and the baby sock is gonna work really well. So I'm gonna move my camera down so you can see all of the materials on the rug in front of me, and we're gonna go through this step by step. So the directions say to pour some of the iron filings and the sand in the glass bowl and mix them until you cannot distinguish the iron from the sand, okay? And again, I'm just gonna hold that up there so you can take a look at it, and maybe you wanna pause the video and think about that first set of directions. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of the iron filings and put them in there. I think that's enough. And some of the sand. It doesn't give me an exact measurement, so we're just gonna kind of sprinkle a bit of each in there. Now, okay, and mix them until you can't tell them apart, it says. So I'm mixing it all up until it just sort of can't see any sand without any iron filings in it. You can't see any iron filings without any sand in it. So just kind of mix that around, and that's what I came up with. Just sort of, now it looks like gray sand. So there's no part of it that looks just like iron filings and no part that looks just like sand. So it says, now try to separate them. How easy would that be to separate them? If you just used something physical like your fingers or like a spoon, could we get in there and take all those little iron filings out of the sand, or take all the sand out and have them in two separate bowls? Probably not. So what we're gonna do is take our magnet and put this handy dandy baby sock on top of it, and it says pass it over the mixture and see what happens. So that's what we're doing. We're just using our observation skills. We're gonna pass it over the mixture and see what happens. Oh, if I move it over to the other side of the sock, there's some iron filings on there. So I'm just gonna keep moving it around. See how many of those iron filings I can pick up. Kind of hard to tell, but looks like I got a lot of them. And the reason that I use the baby sock, and if you're gonna do this activity, a good reason for you to do it is because that when you're all done, if you want to be a good recycler, is you can take your baby sock off and all the iron filings will go back into the container. You can just shake them off of that baby sock. Whoop, probably shouldn't have used the magnet. Now we're gonna have to scrape them off with the spoon and then just tap them back into the iron filing container. So it says, see what happens. Make a description in your copybook. So now you're going to describe it in your copybook. And then over on the back, there's a statement that tells us what happened. But before I read that, I want you to think about what happened. Why did we do this activity? Well, it says the magnet attracts the iron filings. Although the sand and the iron filings looked as though they had fused together to form a new substance, in reality, they were only mixed. They could be separated again. Such a combination is called a mixture. So if you have two things and they're mixed together, sometimes, even though they look like they're one thing, like gray sand, you can take them apart again. And one of the ways that you can take mixtures apart that have a magnetic part is by using a magnet. So a magnet is one way that we can separate mixtures, as long as one part of the mixture has something in it that's magnetic. So mixtures are pretty easy to separate if you have the right tool. So that is our first activity, like I said, from a series of activities. That's card number 1 from a whole series on mixtures and solutions. So I'll see you for the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.